Hey guys, good morning. It's Tony. Before I start the video, I do want to say please like, subscribe, and comment. If you want to join the Patreon, you can join at patreon.com/ but I'm not a trader. I will make sure to link it on the description and the comments, and I'll probably put it in the title so you guys can go. Since I've been getting asked, where's the Patreon, right? But I mean, also I already started locking the Patreon because like I said, I am gonna start migrating over to my website, and I do think that as of right now. The best thing that I can do right now is just start to lock the tiers. So as of right now, it has become limited. I have currently, I think I pushed it out to 3 tiers, but there's one tier that I completely locked, which is the OG tier, and now you can only join tier 2 and tier 3, right? And that has a set number of a limit for Patreon members. So once those get locked, that's it. Nobody can join the Patreon. Everybody that wants to join the our community, right, understand like the trading strategy and everything, they have to go to the website, right? And then I'm telling you guys right now, I'm not gonna do anything less than like $500 on the website. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me anymore. There's too much value that comes from the Patreon for me to only charge like $10-20 a month. Like, it doesn't make sense anymore. So yeah, just a quick little advice for you guys. I'm not saying go do it, right? But just letting you know that I am going to be locking it. And I already started with tier 1. We only have tier 2 and tier 3 left. That's it. After that gets filled up, I'm done. No more Patreon. Everything is going to be migrated to the website. So I did want to make this video really quick, just because this is the third instance, right, of if you guys obviously run my indicators, and that's great, but this is going to be the third instance of recent history, right, from back in, since when was this? Back in January, right? In January 2023, and the 23rd, I think, late January. This is the third instance of a perfect entry on the 8 hour, right? So the last time we actually closed like this was right here. Perfect entry, and then again, perfect entry on the 8 hour. And then before that, right, we essentially just kind of traded sideways. But because we are in a bull market, essentially, right, I am looking for a pretty big push to the upside. This can definitely take us pretty high up, right, especially because generally the market is really, really bullish right now. And then the last, when we ran up 13,000, right, and then from that last trigger here, it was roughly around, 22,000. And what I like to do is I generally like to get the difference of that. And because we are in a bull market, because we are continuously pushing, I generally do run my forecasts like this, right? So I'd either get the average of the 22.8 and the 13.8, right? And then just kind of get an average of what that is, and then I give that forecast. And also I would subtract the 22 from the 13, which is around $10,000, and I'd add it to that second forecast, right? So for like a very bullish target, right? So as of right now, because for the first, obviously right now we do anywhere between 18 to 22 days. So I usually go for the most extended out, right? So we'll do 22 days, right? So as of right now, because we just gave that trigger, I go with like 22 days there. So around April 7th, right, is target for another, for me personally, another push to about, let's say $30,000, right? $30,000 to April, 22 days. Yeah, that seems about right for me. So that would be the forecast, right? Just by subtracting and adding this on the target. And I would definitely say that, if we're still in a very consistent bullish market, then I can definitely see 95K by the beginning of April, right? If this is for all the bulls out there, right? If you guys are still bullish, very bullish on the market, I'd definitely say that $95,000 is open on Bitcoin, right? Especially because, this is going to be essentially a perfect 8 hour trigger, like a perfect entry for you guys, right? So I'm kind of giving you guys free sauce right now. My trade, if I were to actually enter this, ridiculously easy right now. You basically enter here. You wouldn't get out of this until you're like up here, and then your stops would again be like on the lows here of these like relative lows. So you'd have an entry essentially at the bottom, right? And you ride this all the way to the top. Your entry would be here, 7 to 6 RR. So you're basically betting $100 to make 700. Obviously in Bitcoin and crypto, you can leverage that by a whole bunch, but this would be my target, right? And essentially I would think that if this does happen, right? And again, I'm not saying we're at the top, we're at the bottom. This is just a regular trade that somebody would take, or I would take, whatever. By April 8th, right? Sometime around the first week, maybe second week of April, because we've had such bullish momentum, this can definitely be the run or the next cycle, right? Bull push on Bitcoin. right? Which would be a 95K target. If we're looking at, another sort of a longer term here, right? And I think I've already showed you guys this in the previous chart, right? If we go to the 3-month, right? And we run the breakout strategy, right? And again, this is just a regular breakout strategy, right? We're essentially looking at, and again, don't mind all this like fancy work here. This is my actual like forecast Bitcoin chart, right? So I mean, if you guys know, but this is my peak Bitcoin price right here of 130K, right? But I think that we will hit this in July 2025, right? That's my forecast overall. I do think that Bitcoin's going to 130K. If it does, I think that it's going by, what is it called, by July 2025, right? And a lot of my Patreon members have already seen this chart, why I think that and everything. But if you do run this, right, on the breakout strategy, right, on version 2, the one that I just released, I think like a week ago, this is any close, right, essentially here, in 14 days, my next forecast for this would be at least 85K. And if you start closing some nice candles above that, you're going to 128K, which is essentially my peak Bitcoin price of 130K by July 2025. So as of right now, I don't want to say I'm bullish or bearish. I do want to say I'm a little bit more bullish on the crypto market as a whole, just because, you are still in like technically a bull cycle, right? I do think we're starting to top out a little bit just because an average cycle lasts about 6 months. We are on that 6-month mark, right? And there's a lot of things that would support this right now where we are being the current top. But if you are bullish, right, this is just on the bias that if you're still bullish, right, this is the trade that would take you, at least in the next month, right? This is where this would take you to that 100K mark on Bitcoin, right? And I think if we go to 100K, I think we're at the bottom right now. And I think this next push is going to send us to like 95, 100K, right? So I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye. Do with that information what you want. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.